Hi friends, I finished Giving Your Words by Sally and Clay Clarkson. I have been reading Sally Clarkson's books for a number of years. This is the first book that I've read where the husband and wife team have jointly written together, and they wrote a book about how they have lived as parents and given words to their children. So how they give words, they come from a Christian worldview, just so you know, how they give their words from a biblical point of view, how they encourage them, how the different methods that they use, the ways they've talked about art and literature and helping to give words to their children. So I feel like it's a great one. It was slightly repetitive, but in a way that I actually liked because it drove in some of the points that were good. So it didn't get repetitive to in a way that I was like, oh my gosh, are we talking about this again? It was repeating some things that just needed to be kind of drilled in. I liked that that it got the husband and the wife's point of view. A lot of times when you're a mom and you're just kind of getting the mom's point of view, it's really good, I think, to kind of get both parents' points of view. So I really enjoyed this. Again, it comes from a Christian worldview. So if you're not a Christian, I don't think you would necessarily enjoy this book, but I really enjoyed it. I think it's a good one. This was an arc, and so it will be coming out sometime in October. All right, thanks guys. Hi friends, I just finished The Assassin's Quest, the third book in the First Years trilogy by Robin Hobb. I really enjoyed this series. I'm so glad that I got to do this little read along with Nicole at Dusty Book Sniffers. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Nicole, for inviting me to buddy read with you. I really enjoyed this series. She's a great fantasy writer, wonderful political fantasy. I enjoyed the characters, their individual personalities. I enjoyed how things don't necessarily get wrapped up in a pretty tidy bow at the end. It's a satisfying ending, but it's just not necessarily what you would expect. I love that we kind of find out what happens to pretty much everyone that was important in the original story at the end. And I think what's best is that we find out some of the things in the first book. They're like, are they gonna ever explain this to us? Like the forged ones. We understand where that came from and what happened. And of course it's fantasy, so it's not a perfect understanding, but we get a little bit of an explanation. So this was great. I'm so glad I read it. I am sure I'm going to delve into some more of her trilogies down the road, but I'll probably, of course, the planes love when I try to give reviews outside. Anyway, this was a great read. I'm glad I finally got to finish it, and I am working on the Silmarillion right now by Tolkien. Oh my goodness, what beautiful writing. So hard to figure out what is going on. I'm living in the glossary right now. Okay, have a great day. Bye-bye.
Guys, this is the second time I'm filming myself talk about the Silmarillion by Tolkien. So it is a wonderful collection of what things were like prior to the Lord of the Rings. These are short stories, but the main short story is the Silmarillion. With the full collection, it's 300 pages, and the Silmarillion takes up the bulk. And so this is a hodgepodge, guys, of lots of different things and ideas. And I hate to use the term like his Bible, because I feel like the Bible is God's word in a holy book. But I think like it's his whole compilation of his world and what it means and how it exists. And I will tell you, I spent most of my time looking in the glossary, trying to figure out who was who and what was what. So although the writing was beautiful, and I think it will be appreciated by great Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit fans to just kind of see where his mind was and this world that he created, is very interesting. But it is vibes and not very much plot. And I know sometimes that works for me. This didn't as much. I am so glad I read it. It's beautiful. I won't feel a need to read it again. So I think if you're a fan of Tolkien and the worlds that he creates, it is enjoyable, but go in with the expectation, which I did understand kind of what I was getting into. Go in with the expectation. This is short stories. This is not something that is going to be an epic novel. And it's hard to keep track. I really can't tell you much about the storyline because it's already gone from my head. So that is kind of my summary of it. I don't want to give too much away, even what I do remember, because I think it's great to unpack that yourself, but just be prepared to use the glossary, use the map. Hopefully your copy will have also little family trees like mine did. It helped a lot. All right, take care. Hi guys. So to wrap up my September reads, I finished up the sequel to Amari and the Night Brothers, which was Amari and the Great Game. This book did not disappoint. It was a wonderful middle grade fantasy. Amari is a girl who realizes she possesses magic. I won't ruin it with what kind of magic she has. In the first book, she discovers this. She has some great friends. She has a lot of challenges. She's accused of doing wrong in the second book when she hasn't. But it's just such a great story of putting family and friends first, working for the greater good. I think it's a good one for middle grade readers. Of course, she always tries to go a little bit outside of what she can handle on her own. And I think she needs to probably trust adults a little bit more, but there have been some adults that haven't always been for her. I think this is a good one in that the first book had some incantations and stuff, and I know that sometimes incantations, because there are people who actually don't have the best of intent with incantations and stuff. There weren't any incantations that I can think of in the second book, so I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a great read. And I cannot wait for B.B. Alston, who seems like a great author, to put out another one of these. So thank you for joining me in my September reads, and I will be enjoying some great books in October. I'll see you guys later, and I hope you read a lot. Bye-bye.